been at your service. Our clients have told us their businesses have been booming, and we found out too. What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon coming? What about your premieres? Call MBC. Advertise your birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, church program, or request our coverage at your function. MBC, at your service 24/7. Call 832-887-6452 or call 281-888-9502. MBC, your favorite station, sharing African views.
All right, hi, good morning. Prof, I caught you there. Good morning, Houston. How are you doing this fine Saturday morning? Yes, it's getting hot. It's getting heated, it's getting hotter, and it's getting more humid in the city. But yeah, I'm sure that we will weather it all. We will be fine. I hope that you did some good climbing this week. And when I say climbing, I mean climbing, getting to the peak. Yes, through life and getting to the getting to the peak. We do a lot of that whilst we go to work every other day to get some cheddar, to make a mark, to do some, to do some advancements. I hope you did. Money. And make money. That's why I said to get some cheddar. Oh. All right. We hope that you made a lot of mark, and we indeed hope that you had a very fine week. This is Dawn this morning. We're gracing your screens. My name is Oluwani Shola, and we'll be here in the next 55 minutes. We'll be serving you. There's a potpourri of sour, sad, good, beautiful, berserk, everything, name it. We have a whole lot to share with you this morning. Prof is here, very eager to speak and talk and let his mind out on all of the issues we'll be sharing with you this morning. So we'll go for a brief break. When we come back, we will start the show proper. Prof, you didn't say anything.
Well, I was looking for the camera to come to me. Well, anyway, good morning, Houston. I'm right here. I was away last weekend.
Yes,
I'm back in full force. So.
Where were you, though? You care to share?
Well, have one or two things I also mind. There's a young man that is playing basketball in high school here, so I went to his tournament. As a freshman, he took his school to the state championship. So that's where I went.
That's outstanding.
They lost in the final game, but for the first time, his private school, got there, and they did very well.
All right, so
happy for him.
That's a little insight into Prof's life. But we will be back, and we will start the show proper. Please stick with us. right, from the cheesy, junky to the exciting, to the breathtaking, to the disturbing news, this is done, and we are starting off with trending issues and stories. Now, Prof, Nigerians are irate. The polity is steamy. It is intense. There's a hike in fuel prices. There isn't in some parts of the country. Then we hear power is terrible. That's simply put, terrible. So much. And the last 1 month, I remember you were talking about calling people back home as well and hearing not so cheering news. And I'm thinking to myself, what is happening really? There's some Nigerians who decided to just take to humor amidst all of the chaos and say that okay, they want their corruption back because this anti-corruption crusade isn't working or going down well in the country. Do you think so? What's really happening?
Well, no, look, to me, this is not about corruption. I mean, the country right now is at a standstill. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but it's definitely at a standstill. I mean, let's take the NNPC issue, for instance.
For instance, yeah.
There are two words being bandied around. One is, what is it? We are trying to unbundle.
Unbundle, yeah.
To be honest, I really don't understand what that means. The renowned Femi Falana, the legal icon, has come out to say, he's saying that he doesn't see, that it's not in the power of the minister to unbundle, that it's a power belongs to the board of the NNPC. There's just so many conflicting things, but the people at NNPC that are trying to be unbundled are saying, hey, you ain't going to unbundle us. So that's wahala on its own. Mm-hmm. So there's just so many things that now that it's very difficult to understand. I mean, I wish I was there, but people are telling that when I tell them that I really don't understand what's going on, that I wish don't come. That this place is extraordinarily hot. So I can't figure it out, but I do know that things are difficult. I think I was given an example of a ticket out of Nigeria right now to the United States is almost ranging about $3,000 out of Nigeria. But if I buy the same ticket from the airline from here,
it's cheaper.
It's about $1,800. And so I mean, and that's not supposed to happen. It's a world economy,
Has this happened before? Do you think it has happened before? I feel like there's a method to his madness, quote unquote, no pun intended. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the president now. But do you think that, this has this happened before? Do you think it will get better? Do you think it's, do you think it's normal?
One of the things I've always said about Nigeria is that I've always been afraid of a country when things get to a certain, we normally say it can get worse and things will get better. But, right now, just what my experience with Nigeria has always been is that things just never seem to go back to
the way it was.
To what we could consider a normal. So this is almost like the new normal. We had a guest here about a month ago, Ms. Shola Salako, who led on the 1st of March, the No Banking Day, where Nigerians were asked not to patronize their banks and all that. It worked out fine, but you're still getting the horrible stories. I mean, there's a young man that posted that he bought something online using his debit card, and Zenith Bank charged him almost 400 naira.
I heard that as well. Another bank
on the same day he purchased something using his GT Bank debit card, and they charged him 200. There was almost $100 difference.
Yeah.
Now,
what's happening?
Yeah, what's happening? Those are things that I can't explain, and I don't think there's really anybody that can explain it right now. Yeah. But no economy or no country is going to survive with those kind of issues. I mean, now let's not talk about no fuel. I mean, I was talking to people yesterday. They said, "Hey, I can't go anywhere because I'd rather use my fuel to power my generator
and stay home.
Because
and then the weather is hot.
Yes, and it's 300
to
naira,
make it worse.
300 naira per liter. From the 86.50 that it's supposed to be. So look,
It's
a whole load of
issues
that they have to deal with.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I was going to talk about the unbundling. In case you know you're just tuning in, or we're very busy here. Everybody is working. We really have time, to just check the dailies or check the internet and check what's happening. So I might want to touch up on that story. I should, Prof.
Go ahead. I mean,
okay.
It's interesting.
It is interesting.
It is interesting.
Nobody understands it. So during the week, the president, Muhammadu Buhari, unbundled. Unbundled. This is. I use the word disassembled the NNPC into 7 units, and he named new heads. That was on Tuesday. President Buhari approved the immediate unbundling of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation into 7 independent operational units, and he made this known through his Minister of State for Petroleum Resources. It was a lot of opera, especially from the oil workers themselves. They were like, they repelled the move and said, nobody even told us about this. We're just hearing about this as every other Nigerian is. And that is just really very uncalled for. I think there was a plan to go on strike or something. I'm not sure if they were able to pull through with that.
Well, look, again, like they're complaining that nobody told them about it. But I don't know what the process for that is. But I want to go by, like I said, what the lawyer, Mr. Falana, said. That this should be the work of a board of the NNPC and not just its managing director or its CEO, as Mr. Kachiku is. But look, either way, there are issues with NNPC. We found out that was usually the pipeline to draining resources and all that. Anything they want to do with it, I mean, but again, if there's a process, let's go through the process. I'm a big believer that,
and following due process.
Apart from just following due process, we as a country must establish a process in doing things. We have to do it well so that the next man doesn't come and use his own process, because that's what we have now. And, if Mr. Kachiku, or Dr. Kachiku knows that's the right way to do it, let them go ahead, establish a process, let's follow it. I mean, if it favors some people, fine. If it doesn't, but we need to clear out a few things in the NNPC, because we all know it's been the conduit pipe to a lot of corruption in the system. All
right, that being said, please join in on the conversation this morning. We'd like to have you join us, share your thoughts with us. The phone numbers will be scrolling on your screen right about now. You can tweet at both Prof and I, and of course at MBC TV Houston. All right, still done. My name is Olu Anishala. Yeah, that's the number right there. And we are still going to be sharing more issues, and trending stories with you. There was one also, it was quite sad, of a former minister who was involved in a very, very ghastly motor accident with his wife and son. And what really struck me was, I think 2 days after, it was some sort of, I don't know if I can call it a press briefing or something, where the FRSC came up with the cause of that accident. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, very many Nigerians die every day. Every day. I don't think they ever come on to have this form of briefing and say this is what happened to this and that.
I think the FRFC or whatever, the road marshals or something, I think they goofed on this one.
Okay.
Because the first thing they're telling us, is about tires, is about, it was about...
And then they said the occupants didn't have the seatbelts on as well.
Yeah, it was about speed.
Yeah.
It was about speed. They were in a motorcade, which we know how, every Nigerian knows how that operates. I mean, this was about speed. I mean, it was unfortunate, it was the man's car that blew a tire and all that. Now they're going to blame the driver that his occupant didn't use a seatbelt. He should know better. I mean, I'm not blaming the dead here, please. But he didn't use his seatbelt. He was thrown out of the vehicle. I mean, him and his kid, a kid and his wife and all that. But the funny thing about it is the driver was hired without a driver's license. What was the qualification to hire a man to drive the minister if he didn't have a driver's license?
Oh, boy.
That's what I'm talking about. There's no process in the country. How does a man get to drive?
Without a license.
A minister. Not,
not a regular Nigerian.
Not a kabu-kabu. A minister without a driver's license. How does he get to drive without having gone through certain kind of
training,
internal training? How do we, these are the things I'm talking about. We need a process. We need to establish something. We're running around like a chicken without head. I mean, and this isn't going to work. Like I said, I think the FRC for road marshals, I mean, that press conference or that release was really embarrassing.
Very, very.
They need to take it back and just shut up and move away.
And move
the man
away.
lost his life, but we all know there's no Nigerian living today that hasn't seen the speed at which a motorcade of a minister, and we should stop it. We should stop it. This is probably one of the most dangerous things ever. They drive so close to themselves at high speed. I'm surprised that, just one car really got damaged in that situation. It's unfortunate,
All right,
though.
yeah, very, very unfortunate. Actually, health workers in that same state, they proposed a strike, but because of Ocholi's death, it was cut short, it was interrupted. The members of the Joint Health Workers Union, JOHISU, they shelved their planned strike. It was initially scheduled to commence on Thursday, but because, as a mark of respect for the late Minister of State for Labor, who died in that fatal accident, they decided to interrupt it. So, going to this news, Prof. Okay, I've called it some form of paddy government, but you know what? We will go for a break. Yes, when we come back, I will share this story and then we get to hear what Prof has to say about it. It's still dawn on MBC this morning. Please stay with us. All right, you're welcome back. It's still dawn this morning. My name is Oluwani Shola. Glad to have you join us. Still going through trending issues and stories. And on Wednesday, was it Wednesday? Yes, it was.
Yes.
The president appointed Dakuku Peterside as the new Maritime Director General. I with many other Nigerians called this government that day. This is simply a paddy government. I know it's not strange. I know it's not new, but maybe because we thought that with the change mantra and stuff, things would be a little different. But it didn't happen that way. It's not like he wasn't qualified though, but I don't know. I was like, there should be some other people that could fill that position. Why him?
Well, the president found him the most qualified. Like, because he just said, look, a lot of times positions that are to be filled by the president are not necessarily about qualifications. It's good to be qualified, but it's not necessarily about qualifications. It's about who you personally want there. Oh. I mean, the president, especially in the system we run, which is the presidential system of government, has thousands of positions to be filled. It's the same thing with the American system. And, and in some cases, people that they've wanted maybe as a party policy wanted in certain places, like Peterside was someone they wanted as governor of Rivers State.
And that didn't happen.
And that didn't happen. Like you said, you might think that it's a kind of a reward or a kickback or whatever for losing out. But, they find him qualified to be governor. So he's probably overqualified to be
even be the
Director General.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't see it that way. I mean, it's funny, but as I sit here now, I wait and see if I will ever get a call to become director of
what?
Of something in Nigeria.
Something, anything at all.
Look, it doesn't matter, I mean, it doesn't matter. They've scrapped the National Sports Commission, so I can't be director
there. You can't even fit into that.
But I wouldn't mind maybe Niger Delta State or something. But hey, someone might just pop a name into the president's head. Look, there's this guy out there in the diaspora, right? And before you know it,
something from you.
Yeah.
Anyways, his appointment actually came from a statement by Yetunde Shonaike, the Director of Public Relations at the Ministry of Transportation in Abuja, who said that the appointment was with immediate effect. Mr. Peterside was the governorship candidate of APC in the April 11th, 2015 governorship elections in Rivers State, and was also a former member of the House of Representatives from 2011 to 2015. And according to the statement, Mr. Peterside has a doctorate degree in management science from the University of Port Harcourt and MBA in business administration. He also holds a bachelor's degree in medical laboratory sciences in hematology from also the Rivers State University of Science and Technology. So yes, well said, he's overqualified.
Well, no, he's got a bunch of degrees and all that, but this is, what department is this? Is
maritime
and all that. It's on the transportation. That's fine. I mean, it all has to deal with water and blood, I guess, because hematology is about blood. He'll be fine. It's an administrative position. Lead people that really know how to do the job. And now, let's leave that alone. If we want to complain about the president's appointments, especially the appointments that he doesn't need senatorial confirmation, he can really appoint anybody. He can really appoint anybody. That's the way it works. That's a system we've picked, and that's the way it's going to happen.
All right. Still on still in Nigeria and on the president, he actually recently received the president of South Africa, President Jacob Zuma. We have pictures of him addressing a joint session at the National Assembly. He was in the country for 2 days. And there are pictures there to share with you. He actually made a passionate appeal to both South Africa and Nigeria to work together towards achieving the vision of a prosperous Africa. All right, moving over from that, still also in Nigeria, the home front, the court actually dismissed Metu's suit trying to stop his trial. The fundamental rights enforcement suit filed against the EFCC by the national spokesperson. I wanted to call him former national spokesperson. He's still the national spokesperson of the PDP, Olisa Metu. It was dismissed by Justice Okon Abang of the Federal High Court in Abuja. Metu had filed a suit challenging his arrest and detention by the EFCC over his alleged involvement in the $2.1 billion arms deal scandal. Metu asked the court to make a declaration that his arrest on January the 5th was unlawful and there was no warrant of arrest issued by any court. But Metu also argued that his detention by EFCC for 10 days without being charged to court violated his rights. And he asked the court to stop the EFCC from further arresting him, but that was dismissed. Thoughts? Moving on. And Saraki's case also has been deferred actually. It has been held off until March the 18th. That happened yesterday, Friday. The Senate President, Bukola Saraki, was at the Code of Conduct Tribunal for the resumed hearing of the false declaration of assets case against him. This is going on for too long. Is this big?
Let me go back.
Is it a big deal?
Yeah, look, I've gone back to I'll go back to the first one I said when this first came up. False declaration of assets.
Okay.
I made a mistake.
Abi?
Let's move on.
Abi?
Look, except you say that what you declared, you also don't own it by, because I don't understand it. I mean, I said it at that time. I said, look, I declare assets here in America every year. By April 15, when I have to have filed my taxes, it's a declaration of assets. If I sell a house, if I buy a house, all this finds a way into my tax returns. That's the declaration of asset. Now, do I make a mistake or have I made a mistake? Fortunately, I haven't. But at times the IRS might come up and say, look, hey, explain this. And I say, people, don't be annoyed. I made this mistake. They might decide to fine me. But if we're making an issue of something that shouldn't. I mean, we're dragging this too long. It's a declaration of assets. He filled out a form. You found other things that you think he owns. You put the two side by side, explain it, and let's move on. If you're going to fine him, you're going to punish him, let's move on. This thing is getting too long. It's wasting our time.
A lot of time, that is. And also, I found something really very abnormal also during the week. The very first female speaker in Ondo State was impeached. Yes, she was impeached. It was quite mystifying for me because barely 24 hours after that happened, she was reinstated. When she was impeached, it was very hush-hush. Nobody could tell why she and her deputy were impeached. And barely 24 hours after, she was impeached in a questionable manner. She was reinstated again. She had a 5-hour meeting with the Olympic governor. And that, I still have a question. What really happened? Do you have any idea? Do you have any friends in those things to tell us?
No, the governor was a few years ahead of me in Ife, so. Okay. But look, I don't know why she was impeached. But
nobody knows.
They've reinstated her. Let's move on. The first statement you made, where you said that the first female speaker was impeached. I wanted to ask, is it because she's a female she shouldn't be impeached? If she did the wrong thing, I mean, you see, we're asking for equal rights, men and women. Then we should be treated the same. They've impeached a bunch of men many times who are speakers and all that. So, but she's back in her job, in the saddle. That's fine.
All right, we'll go for another musical break. When we come back, we will be doing some entertainment stories and some odd news as well. Still done this morning on MBC. Thank you for joining us.
Forget about Christian or Muslim. Nigeria is not a country that is totally Muslim or a Christian. All what we need is somebody that can lead the country to a promised land.
As a mother, these are too many things that loaded in you So you have to understand that if God gave you all these realities, He's also giving you grace and capacity to manage.
Thank you. Yes, I love what I do. Shegungele, this is what they call me, so this is Shegungele.
From YJ there. Thank you for still, joining us. It's still dawn. My name is Oluwanishola and Prof is here. It was, of course, during the week, International Women's Day. I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday. Yes, it was on Tuesday. Yeah. It was on Tuesday. So. It was on Tuesday. And this year's theme it was based really on gender equity, gender balance, and on all that. In commemoration of this year's International Women's Day, there were very many influential figures across the globe that urged world leaders to end the extreme poverty by investing in girls and women. Amongst the top influential figures who added their voices to the campaign are Oprah Winfrey, Muhammad Ali, D'banj, Melinda Gates, Femi Kuti, Charlize Theron, Yemi Alade, and so on. They also signed one campaign's open letter which shows the incredible strength of feeling across the global community for leaders to step up for girls and women everywhere. How many girls you got?
2.
Okay. I hope you've given them...
Hey, look, my house was full. I mean, one of my daughters had a sleeping. I woke up this morning, had to run up and down the whole place, McDonald's and all that. Hey, girls are fine. I mean, look, they are. I mean, the world has changed. The general attitude towards the female group has changed. It's just the individual cultures that still have problems in dealing with girls. I mean, I'm happy you mentioned Oprah Winfrey. I mean, 5-6 years ago, we all were excited about Oprah Winfrey's the school she built in South Africa for girls. Where is it today? You know, look, we got to think about what we say or what we do. That has been really, I mean, to a large extent, been a failure because of where it is. It's in an African country where, especially in South Africa, where women are not really at par with men. So it's not been a success. She invested a whole lot of money there. And if you remember the controversy really in the black community here in America was that why is she investing in black girls in South Africa when Chicago is on fire? I mean, Chicago for black is probably one of the worst cities in America. I mean, I taught in Chicago. I know what I'm talking about. And I mean, that was the controversy then because a lot of people said, why is she doing that? So it's really, to a large extent, it's been a waste of money now. You don't hear about that school anymore. So, you know, when it comes to how the world deals with women, for the most part, women are at par with men. I mean, funny enough, I mean, America is probably still, not probably, still the only country that of major countries in the world that a woman hasn't led. Every other country, Canada, Britain, Australia, Germany, France, have all been led by women at one time or the other. America still, but that doesn't mean that women don't have the same, because actually American women are still stronger.
Of course.
By way of culture than in any other country.
Of course.
So, good for them, for the women to bring out what they consider their plight and all that, but it's cultural. Yeah. It is.
Why? You're helping.
Looks like something I don't think I could dare do that. Still coming on the heels of the 2016 International Women's Day.
Before, just let me make a comment on that.
Yeah, please do.
Because look,
it looks like a race.
It was a race. I think the next time I'm invited or told to do something about inter-house sport in Nigeria, I will introduce that race. I'll be stoned out of of that school. This is what I was talking about, cultural. Look at how we are celebrating women in Africa, that they can balance a pot of water
on their head and ride a bike at the same time.
We're still thinking about someone going to fetch or get water in a pot of, where, the typical woman should be able to stand in her kitchen and let water run.
Of course.
But look at what we're doing, and, we're actually...
I get you.
I get you. We got to move past that.
All right. I'm going to this story. This fellow actually made a huge impact on the internet, almost broke the internet in Nigeria during the week. He's an artist, an exceptional artist. He was also featured on CNN. We're going to be showing the pictures now if a producer is ready. These hyper-realistic photos are actually oil paintings. I feel this is like the best thing that's happened in the art world in Nigeria since sliced bread. I think so. They don't really look realistic. They look like pictures, but they're just simply oil paintings. Water droplets slide down the faces of children as they stare directly at what you could easily believe is a camera. Look at that one. But in fact, they're just oil paintings by a Lagos-born Nigerian artist. His name is Oreshegun Olumide, and he took the internet literally by storm during the week. His artwork is so realistic, it's hard to believe that they're not photographs. And is with over 18,000 18,000 followers and counting on Instagram. His work gained a lot of momentum online, and he was featured on CNN. He looks really, that's him right there. I found a really very good, exceptional.
There's no doubt these are great looking pictures, I mean, I don't want to use a but, but I always, things like this which are commercial, to me, what's the value? In dollar terms, because that's on the long run, that's what makes a picture. Because we do the same thing in sports. You can have a fantastic picture,
but how much is it worth?
Yes, you can, how much are people willing to pay for it? I mean, and I think, from when I first saw them, I said, wow. I mean, I don't know what he sells them for, but, I would love to know the value. And I think the value should be decided by Nigerians or Africans. I mean, this is not one that we should allow the foreign world to determine what the value of those pictures are. It's about us. These are black people he's drawing. So I think the value should be determined by us, whether we have the kind of money he'll be looking for, but I don't know. But 50 years from now, no matter what we pay for it now, when the older a picture is, the better it is. It's like wine, like they say, So, but really good pictures. I mean, I was really blown apart.
Yes, I was as well. All right, now going over to the sports world. This is the only story that really caught my eye, the Maria Sharapova's story. She suffered a lot of counter action, a lot of recoil during the week when she came out to say that, yes, indeed, she tested positive for meldonium, a substance she has been taking since 2006 for health issues. The International Tennis Federation said the 5-time Grand Slam champion would be provisionally suspended from the 12th of March. The sportswear company she's with also said they were halting the relationship with her until the investigation was complete. And she did say, quote unquote, I did fail the test and I take full responsibility for it.
Well, what I don't understand about drug testing, and I'll put this out there.
Okay.
When I did a master's in sports management, I mean, it was one of the things, drug testing in sports. And I was one of the few that wrote against it. It makes absolutely no sense. I mean, I did sports for a long time. I mean, there's nothing I'm going to take that's going to make me a better jump shooter. Nothing. But again, it's debatable. Now, here is a woman that's been using this drug for 2005, 2006. And this year, it becomes a banned drug in tennis. But she still took it, so she has to be punished. But the issue to me has always been, how much do drugs really affect? I mean, I keep saying, I don't know what you want to take that is going to make you a great instinctive scorer in football. I don't know what you want to take that is going to make you a great, I mean, if you play golf, how to read a putt down, you know, I don't know. But the world says that we need to test for some of those things.
And that's how it's going to be.
That's how it's going to be. But the beauty of this argument is an argument that we've had several times before. Because now a lot of people are jubilating also because, you know, she's supposed to have a rivalry, which I don't think really exists with her and Serena.
Serena Williams. Serena actually did support and say, yeah, she's got a lot of courage.
Yeah, to come out and say, I understand that, but you know, the people have always said that, you know, because she makes more money than Serena. But I said she makes more money commercially than Serena. Now, I've written about it. The one place that both of them have an account, which is Nike. Serena is paid better than her. Yeah. And Nike has dropped her now. That's her
punishment? Is that the punishment or something?
Well, I don't know, but Nike has dropped her. But the argument I have always made is that, look, she makes more money than Serena because she's European. It's a bigger sport in Europe, so she advertises cars and water and all that. That's why she makes more money than Serena. Yeah. It's not because she's better than Serena. In America, you know, it's not, you know, tennis for women. We only watch the 4 Grand Slams, and that's it. We only watch the U.S. Open. Yeah. In September, and that's it for Americans. So, you know, she's not going to make a lot of money commercially. Yeah.
Rafael Nadal and Andy Murray also said that she must be banned. She must be banned for taking the drugs, and that's for that. I feel really sorry for her.
No, look, she's come out. She said she's sorry.
Because most athletes who get to this point or who get stung by this this drug scandal usually don't come out better. At the end of the day, because
you know, if you're given a 2-year ban, any athlete, I don't care what sport you do, anytime you stay away from your sport for any length of time,
because it becomes almost obsolete, right?
Yeah, you become stale. It's very difficult to come back.
It is really very difficult. We have some odd stories to share with you. I think we'll go for one last break. When we come back, we'll share the last that we got this morning on Dawn. Please stick with us.
Sasa, forget about Christian or Muslim. Nigeria is not a country that is totally Muslim or a Christian. All what we need is somebody that can lead the country to a promised land.
As a mother, these are too many things that loaded in you. So you have to understand that if God gave you all these realities, He's also given you grace and capacity to be great.
Thank you. Yes, I love what I do. Shegungele, this is what they call me. So this is Shegungele.
Welcome back, Rookie there. To some awe-inspiring, spooky news. There's a Vietnamese woman who gave birth to twins a while back, but with different fathers, having had intimacy with 2 men about the same period. Is that even possible, Prof? according to reports, let me just go straight into it. According to reports, the woman gave birth to twins with different fathers after having sex with 2 men in the same ovulation period. Her husband's relatives, after noticing that one resembled him while the other didn't, urged him to get the 2-year-old's DNA tests. And lo and behold, the suspicions turned out to be true. Now, the mother and her husband recently took the 2-year-old children for tests because of their striking differences in their appearances, and they were shocked to hear that only one of the twins was biologically related to the father.
Wonders shall never end.
Simply put.
Look. Wonders shall never end.
They thought that maybe the hospital made a mix-up, but then they cleared that out, and it was just like she had sex with 2 different men about the same ovulation.
Anybody, they'll say, carry. Carry like. I mean, that's all you can say, Look, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to get into trying to judge her behavior
how
and
that
all
happened.
that. But let me just go back to my days in Ibadan. They're just carry like, that's a hell of a job she did there.
Yes, a very good one. But to some despairing news for this actress, this Nigerian actress, Ibinabo Fiberesima, the appeal court actually upheld a 5-year jail term. Now, I'm going to go to that story. In 2005, actress and mother of 3, Ibinabo Fiberesima, was involved in a vehicle accident on the Lekki-Epe Expressway in Lagos that cost a man his life. She veered off a lane and hit the car of a doctor whose name was Giwa Suraj, who was a staff of the Lagos State Hospital. Ibinabo was arrested for dangerous and reckless driving and charged to court. Now, the case went to court, and the Igboshire Magistrate Court sentenced her to 5 years in prison with an option of 100,000 naira fine. And Ibinabo apologized to the man's family, paid the fine, and thought the case was over. But the Lagos State government objected to the fine and took the case to a high court. And the high court then said the magistrate court was reckless when they gave Ibinabo an option of fine for such an offense. So yesterday, the judgment was upheld, and I think she's going to go to jail after all.
Look, let's go back to processes and systems.
Again.
Yeah, what is the law in Nigeria? Vehicular homicide, or what do we have it? If there's a punishment for it, then of course, I mean, like the higher court has said, it was wrong for the lower court not to have. But I look at it, and I hope this is not a case of double jeopardy, because she was given an option. I mean, even though they returned the money, even though it was a crazy, it doesn't matter when they return the money. Even though it was a crazy option, 100,000 or 5 years. I mean, if you wake me up with a sleep, I'll pay 100,000 and go to jail for then go to jail for 5 years. So that didn't make a lot of sense. I remember following the case at that time. It looked unfair, but how many people really in our system are charged for murder in a car accident?
How many?
How many? I mean, I thought this was one that I'd seen. I'd never seen it before this girl's case. I mean, this lady's case. So, again, we've got to build systems, and let's be fair. I'm not saying this is unfair. All I'm saying is that I've never heard of anybody being charged for vehicular homicide.
All right. So on that rather sad note, we're going to be drawing the curtains this morning on Dawn. But we have a small video, a teaser to share with you, just to lighten the mood for the rest of your Saturday. Please feel free to like our Facebook page at MBC TV Houston. Please do like us there. You can watch our past episodes on YouTube as well. It's Dawn on MBC. If you have comments or questions, suggestions, you can tweet at PJ Osage, that's Prof's handle, and mine on Twitter is at Nishala01. Thank you so much for allowing us to take an hour of your time today. We're hoping, by God's grace, to be here again next week, God's willing, to bring you all that has happened or will be happening in the new week. Don't forget, watch Trending Houston as well. We want to celebrate Houstonians here. If you have anything to share with us, If you want us to share your story as well, please go to our Facebook page and like us there and send us messages as well. We will be very happy to hear and read from you. All right, Oluwanishala, my name is, and Prof?
I remain Patrick.
You remain?
Almost again. So I'll see you all next week.
Take care of yourselves, people. Have a fantastic Saturday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.